So this is as big as you can pull with a UK fifth wheel. Got the Ranger, it weighs 4.650 kilograms fully loaded. As you can see, the wife wanted a centre island, we have a centre island. We put a water filter in there as well, just for drinking water and cooking with. Ninja, got a ninja look, that's what everybody goes for in the States. So we're in here full time. We changed the sofas from the old brown lazy boys and sofa bed for these from one of our friends. They work very well. Still is a sofa bed, printers underneath there. Sofa bed, bit of storage at the end. You can see look, storage up here as well. We've changed all the pelmets. The pelmets were originally brown, and the twin Venetian type blinds that go up and down, which the strings kept breaking, so we changed those, and Joe's made some nice covered pelmets and roller shutters which are blackouts as well. See them all around here, look. In hindsight we maybe put curtains up, but we didn't want to spend the money at the time. We've had this about 18 months now. It was slightly second hand when we bought it. And before there was a dinette here, and it had been fastened to the wall, so there's a piece of wood to the wall there which wouldn't come off without tearing all the side of the insulation off. So I've put a shelf there recently just to hide that and to give us a bit of shelf space, and the table's loose so that comes in and out. There should be a big fire in there which unfortunately has gone wrong, so we're just waiting to replace that. And we've got Sky Q because we've got a dish across the road. See me in there in the reflection. Surround sound. Up here we put a clock and some photographs. Background here, look. So here was a blank wall with the fire extinguisher was fastened there, and it was Avril that suggested we put an IKEA wardrobe in there for coats and boots. We've got a second-hand one off a marketplace, and it had a big mirror on the front, which was fantastic, and we do miss, but it was 17.5 kilograms just for the door alone. So we just got this recently from IKEA, and it's about 7 kilograms. Trying to save weight because we are on the limit. And back to the front door again, and I've solar panels on the roof, so it took me a while to find it, but I eventually discovered that down here is the switch. Down there is the switch for the onboard battery charger. So by turning that off, it gets full amperage from the solar panels. Task this week while I'm off is to sort this cupboard out, because that's the solar controller up there. I'll put some extra shelves in here because they're very wide shelving. So we'll put a divider in there. I'll show that from the side. I'm going to blank this off. That's what the wood down the floor is. And this I'm going to mount on there just in case I have to put a second one in for another set of panels. And I've got a battery monitor I'm going to put in this week as well, so that's going to go in there. So yes, in here I put an extra shelf in. I reinforced this one because this was very flimsy, wouldn't take any weight. Put another plywood in there, strengthened it. We try and use boxes where we can. We've got rid of all the cookery and crockery, and we've got melamine because we are struggling for weight. And up to the bathroom. You've seen these online. I'm not trying to sell them, just telling you what we've got really. Bathroom, taking a few things out. Dehumidifier, which is we're going into the autumn now, which is imperative. Get condensation, even though we've got some tube heaters up. And the bathroom, nothing much change in here. Probably fairly standard. Change the blinds, blackout blinds, bit more room, better colour. So there's various things we will do this year. In fact, one of the things we are going to plan on doing is changing the colour. We're going to paint this wardrobe and paint the centre island, and eventually we might do some of the cupboards as well. But basically our home from home. And look, there's Bracken down here, look. He's wanting his tea. So there you go. Any questions? Message me. Okay, so this is an update on the first video we made about 6 weeks ago. Joe's finished the main lounge. It's taken about 6 weeks, off and on during the afternoon and evenings, and it's been a long task, but we knew it would be anyway. So this is the main cupboard over what they call a coffee bar. And I did say I'd tell you what I'm going to do with this cupboard. So I've moved Oh, packet rubbish in there. So I've moved the solar controller out from there, tidied it all up. That there is the inverter switch, and down there is the smart shunt. So I've also moved the MiFi here, was from up there. So I moved it down here. And what I've done with the wires, which came down from upstairs and on the roof, came to the solar controller and down through here into the front belly, I've actually cut a bigger hole and I've connected the wires with some MC4s. Now I did that first time round and I wasn't happy with them, so I pulled them back out and got a proper crimper and crimped them again. So this is about inside decorating, not necessarily about the solar, but I just thought I'd give you an update on that. So light grey on the paintwork, much lighter than we were going to have it, but the first one was mixed for us at, I think it was Wicks, and it wasn't mixed properly and it didn't cover, so Joe bought this light grey and it's quite nice. It's 3 coats, so it's a lot of work, and a primer as well, I believe, on the wood. Yeah. The walls was off-white, I'll show you the colour in a minute, and they didn't need a primer but they needed 3 coats as well, yeah, to cover properly. So again, all the cupboards, we are thinking about doing down here the same colour as the centre island. Look at that, I love that colour. I'm decided to do the centre island in that colour just as a statement piece, because the new sofas that we put in have a similar colour fleck running through it. Not quite the same, but it's very near. Makes a big difference. Lovely. And she took out the inserts, the panel inserts from the fridge, and did those separately and put them back. It's made a big difference. Makes it much, much lighter. Doesn't look American anymore. Looks European. It's great. Didn't touch the roof. There we go. Could do with a bit of a wide angle on this, really. It's not really quite wide enough. There we go. Joe's showing herself there. Look. It might be on film. Cupboards above there. We are thinking about 2 things really. Some of the videos you see is the wood around the edge of the slide. They put pine on. Something I'm thinking about, but maybe not too seriously. She's also painted the back recesses behind the 2 slots down the info centre there and behind the TV black, which I thought was a good idea. Which was brown before, brown panelling. And this one was the cupboard from IKEA. That needed a special primer undercoat, so it stuck on properly because it's like a formica type, plastic type, rubber type stuff. That's gone on all right. We're being very careful at the moment not to scratch it. Joe keeps going around the touch-up brush. And what she's also done, we bought some different legs for the sofas. These were a 6-inch leg, and we got some 8-inch legs, but they were too thin and narrow and they just bent, they weren't substantial. These are proper oak, solid oak with inserts, and they've gone on great. And that means we can put the baskets underneath there, which was on top of the cupboards. And down here, you can't see it, but here's my printer and monitor screen. We think about changing the blinds, the blackout blinds, which work well, but now they don't match up with anything else, so we might change those to a darker blue. And she's taken the pelmets off, which she recovered. A lot of work recovering them, and she's put these voile curtains up. Yeah. They don't pull on, they're just there to frame the windows, and they're from IKEA, and the curtain racks, poles are from IKEA as well. Cheap and cheerful, work very well. There is a position on there, if you're going to take the roller blinds down and put another bracket on there, you can put curtains behind. Well, we haven't decided what to do with those just yet. But they work very well, they frame the window better, lighter, and more modern. We might even paint the pedestal on the table. Yeah, that is going to be blue eventually. Dog wants something. He wants to go out, look. Or he wants his tea. It's that time of day, it's 4 o'clock. It's feeding. So, and coming down to the paints. This one here is the Ronseal All Surface Primer undercoat. Works well. This is satin wood, extra deep base. That's for the blue. That worked nicely. And that's the eggshell which is for all the woodwork. And that's more of an oil-based one. And that's the Easy Care bathroom for the walls. Timeless, it's called. Costs about, including the curtains, about £300
altogether. Yeah.
Altogether. So not too bad really. It's very, 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 very fiddly. It's nothing to be taken on lightly. You need to give yourself plenty of time. Very fiddly, let it dry, and you will reap the rewards.
5 weeks.
Yeah, but it's part-time.
Yeah. 5 weeks every afternoon.
Yeah.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
Hard work.
It was my idea, but I didn't want to do it. Cool.
It's worth it.
It's well worth it. It's changed it. Well, what we will do as well is, at some stage, maybe next year, we'll swap out the carpets for something different. As you can see, we've got 2 heaters around all the slides. Dog's putting pressure on now for his tea. Next thing it'll be on top, and then he'll climb all over. Where's my tea? Another half hour yet. Look, another half hour, Bracken. I think that's about it. I will update you on the solar at some stage, because that's just about complete now. So now I've got my second panel on and it's doing great. Okay, that's it. So something I didn't mention before was the caulking. Joe's used decorated caulk all around the edges. Anywhere where there's a bit of a gap, it shows a shadow, and it's just as well caulking it. Sometimes you get away with not painting over, like that's not being painted over. It's white, and it's a tip she got from another YouTube video, and it makes all the difference. Also, she did the blue on the 2 side cupboards. They look nice, and also sealed the top with some. No, well, seal the top with caulking, but he also varnished them.
Oh yeah, varnished the top. Yeah, painted it. And
Two coats of varnish. They look quite
on
nice.
top.
Joe's knees on the other side there. Don't know if you also noticed, changed the splashback tiles. They were brown and grey and things, and didn't like them, didn't match. So these are tic-tac tiles.
Yeah.
Adhesive tiles that come in a strip about 2 feet long. 30 centimetres.
30 centimetres by 15 centimetres.
Yeah, and they stick on nicely, and because the caulking on top as well, of course, and because the splashing from cooking, however careful she was, got some oil in it, she cleaned the surfaces off and then put a coat of varnish on top to seal them, and they're fine. It takes them a little bit dark, but they're fine. Big difference. And they were about 40 quid a set, so 80 quid altogether, and it fits around the cooker. New cooker. Looks nice. So we're having fish for tea, and that's my latest honey in there as well. My tipple in the corner whiskey. And a new kettle. It's a 1000-watt kettle, that's what I was going to mention, rather than the 2 kilowatt kettle, which kills the battery a little bit using that. This is a 1000-watt travel. Russell Hobbs, great, can't hear it on. Measure the water out to conserve battery power, and it works great.